This is a fun experience. I didn't think I'd ever be talking to this guy, at least on a radio show. I've got Matt from the band Low Cloud, but you also, if you've been rocking with Radio U for a while, you might remember Matt from his Sanctus Real days. Matt, now from Low Cloud, welcome to the Hudson Show.
Yeah, what's up, Hudson? Thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, I'm so excited about this. Obviously, I'm sure I'm not alone here on Radio U. From remembering you back on Sanctus Real when you were at Sanctus Real and back in those days. So I do want to talk about Sanctus Real, but first I need to know, Matt, Halloween is getting dangerously close. Do you have a favorite Halloween movie?
Oh man, I'm a lightweight, man, when it comes to scary movies, dude. I don't have like a scary film that I love, but like I guess it's funny because I don't know if I probably have like Thanksgiving movies, Christmas movies, but I don't think I have a movie that I like Halloween, man.
Whoa,
That's
wait,
I,
hold
I
up.
feel so I feel
Hold
so
up.
lame.
No, it's fine. I'm not much for scary movies either. But you can't say you have a Thanksgiving movie and not tell me what the Thanksgiving movie is.
So around Thanksgiving, my wife actually, it's kind of like a tradition that we start playing the movie The Holiday, even though it's more of a Christmas film. Around
Mm,
Thanksgiving, she starts rolling that, and she will probably watch it like 3 or 4 times in through Christmas.
that is, I was not when I think Thanksgiving movie, there's only one that comes to mind. It's Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Oh,
So
that's
I
an
was
amazing
expecting
movie,
you to
man.
say that,
I know.
but I'm glad that you had a different answer. That you caught me
Yeah.
off guard there.
Yep.
Okay, let's get down to the music, Matt. You've started this new band called Low Cloud. But again, many folks would know you from Sanctus Real, a band that is now on the Radio U Throwback channel, actually. So tell us the journey from your Sanctus Real days to now, where you have a brand new band called Low Cloud, putting out your very first song ever this weekend.
Yeah, so, I was with Sanctus for over 20 years, from 1996 to 2016. The reason that I stepped away from the band in 2016 was we just were touring so much, man, and I had to be home more with my kids. I had 4 kids, and I just really felt the call in my heart that it was time for me to invest more there. And so, I took a break from touring. I still was doing some events, but about less than half of what I was doing with the band, and just kind of released some music on my own. And crazy enough, actually just signed a solo deal with Goatee a few months ago that I wasn't expecting. They came to me. But before that happened, me and my buddy Nick were kind of just sitting around, hanging out. Nick I used to play for a band called Cutlass. And
Yes.
we were just kind of hanging out, going like, man, do you miss playing music with a band or like writing rock music with other guys? And I was like, yeah, I really miss just that organic getting in a room with guitars and just writing that style of music. And then also the opportunity to play rock music live. And both of us had missed that. And we were like, we should start a band. And we kind of laughed it off. And then, like, I think maybe a month or two later, we were sitting down with guitars writing our first set of songs. And we're like, what should we call this? And we try, nowadays finding names, dude, is so hard. Every single name is taken.
Oh yeah.
And so, there was this one uh name that Nick's kids had actually thought was cool, which was Low Cloud. And we thought that was kind of cool. And partly because like we write at this season, we're writing a lot about like past dreams and current dreams and like the changing definition of what the dream or dreams really look like at this season of life.
Hmm.
It's kind of like just chasing what's in front of you and around you and not so much like this far off vision of what could be. It's like, man, no, we're right here, we're right now, let's go after it. Our dreams are around us and with us and seasonal. And so we loved that idea and kind of the feel of what that name could represent. And so we went with Low Cloud, and then we realized there was some random band who like had like maybe one song out that had a W in their name. So we're like,
Yeah.
we'll just take the W
I
off and
think
capitalize it.
I think I found them when I was looking you guys up.
I mean, literally, dude, there's not one name that like someone on the far corners of the internet hasn't used for some random MP3 they uploaded somewhere,
Yep.
you know?
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you mentioned that though, because I was actually going to ask about like where the name came from, but I do want to know too. Obviously, there's probably a lot of names you batted around that were already taken. Were there any that you like kind of threw out there and then you're like, no, that actually just sucks?
Yeah, well, we were kind of like uh throwing out different names like around Chrome and words like club and like all these different just combinations, and
Yeah.
we had lists and lists. I couldn't even remember what they all were, but and we didn't like hardly any of them,
Hmm.
so
Man,
low cloud it is, man.
I wonder how many bands are out there that are like, we've got a lot of good music and we're like, they could be really successful, but they just can't find the band name. And so they can't put it out.
Oh, dude. I mean, or how many bands have put out great music, but their name has ruined it for them because they couldn't find a
Yes.
good name, because they picked a
Yes.
really bad one.
Yeah. You're a good band if you can overcome having a horrible band name.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm not going to
Then the
name any
music has to
names, but
stand out, man. Yes, exactly.
so
That's
tell
good.
us, you've given us the journey to having Low Cloud become a band. So what is the future for Low Cloud? Your first new song, Sleepwalker. We're about to play it here on Radio U. We just added it to the playlist. But what else do you have to come besides this first song?
Yeah, so we're gonna be doing just like releasing music probably every 6 to 8 weeks on streaming.
Nice.
So we'll be releasing a new song just consistently for the ongoing future. That's our plan. And then we still all have kids at home and don't want to be out touring a bunch, but we are being strategic about finding some of the right markets to play in, the right venues, and then we're also looking at summer festivals for next year.
Yes.
So we're kind of already talking with a couple festivals who are really interested in having us, and then seeking out a couple others who may not know that we're looking for that yet.
That sounds awesome. It's not too early to get excited about summer festivals in
Nah, man.
October, especially when now you know that Low Cloud very well may be at the one that you go to. Well, I'm just so excited that we have this new music from you, Matt, and from Low Cloud. Last thing here, tell us about the song Sleepwalker. What do you hope people take away when they hear this song?
Yeah, man. I think this. Uh, Man, there's so much I want to say, honestly, about this idea of sleepwalking. The state of our culture and our country is so comfortable at times, and I know we feel with some of the disasters that have happened recently, also with the election coming up, we can feel unsettled during these seasons. But overall, man, we live in a really comfortable society, especially for those of us who follow Christ. It's easy to have all the luxuries that we want. It's easy to make idols of things that don't matter eternally, and we all do it, man. It's just easy to fall into that. I heard this crazy. I can't remember the quote, but this thing that this woman said on this documentary a couple years ago, and it just kind of came to my mind. It was this woman who was persecuted from Iran. I think it was called Wolves in Sheep's Clothing. It was a YouTube documentary. And I think I want to say she was a pastor's wife in Iran where they were like persecuted for their faith and nothing was easy. And then they came to America and experienced a much more comfortable life. But she made some comment in the film, like she'd rather go back to Iran and be persecuted than to be lulled to sleep here with the American church. And I was
Wow.
like, whoa,
Yeah.
man, like that's intense. And I think that was like a moment for me where I had to go, like, I mean, for the sake of what we're talking about this song, like, am I sleepwalking in a way? Do I need to
Hmm.
open my eyes to what it really means to live my life at its fullest? And so I think that's really just the heart and the call of this song is just, to think, man, like, how do I open my eyes bigger? How do I open my heart bigger and my life bigger? and live out the call that's in front of me and be fully aware of what I'm meant to be doing right here and right now, and not just let it slip away.
Dang, that is amazing. It's not just a song, I guess. It's a challenge, I think, for Matt.
Yes,
All right. Well,
absolutely.
Wasn't that a great Riot clip? While you're here, you should watch more of our videos and subscribe so you don't miss what we do next.